Grilling is a year-round sport and is not just between Memorial Day to Labor Day. I've been grilling outside in the wintertime for a really long time, and I've got my best tips for beginners all the way up to pros for grilling with a gas grill in the wintertime. Make sure you shovel and clear off the grill as soon as it snows, because it'd be a real bummer if you fell on your sandwich right after it was grilled to perfection. But let's get serious for a second. If it's almost dinner time and it's cold outside and then you still have to shovel the snow, you're not very likely to get started. So do your future self a favor, clear off that snow long before you want to grill, and then you'll be ready to go anytime you want. The only thing I'm going to say about wearing warm clothes is don't use regular winter or snow gloves. The heat from the grill can easily melt them. What I use are some leather insulated work gloves, and these work really well to keep your hands warm and protect you from the heat of the grill. I know it's cold outside, but don't be tempted to take your grill and pull it into a garage, a shed, or closer to your house. My grandpa did that and his house burned down. Okay, so that was a wildfire, but he did get his grill close enough to his house that he ended up melting his siding. That's definitely a bad idea, and I want you guys to be safe. Not only that, but grilling in an enclosed space can make it so that way the combustion gases can't escape. It's much better to be cold than it is to die of carbon monoxide poisoning. The mitochondria is the power plant of the cell. That is exactly what your propane tank is for your grill. And the winter cold adds some challenges that you need to be able to overcome. As the temperatures drop outside, the pressure inside of your propane tank drops as well. And that's usually not an issue unless it gets really cold outside, but there are a couple of things that you can do that'll make it a problem sooner. The propane in your tank is a liquid, but your gas grill runs on propane in its gas form. And when I mention that, I mean the three states of matter. We've got solid, liquid, and gas. And you know what? I better mention plasma while I'm at it so I don't get roasted in the comment section, but that doesn't really apply here. The liquid propane has to evaporate into a gas in order for your gas grill to be able to use it. And just like when you sweat on a hot day, it cools you off, the same thing happens inside of your tank on your gas grill. It'll drop the temperature below what it is on the outside, and that can reduce the pressure enough that you don't have enough pressure to get your gas grill running at full power. It's really only going to happen to you in two main situations. The first one is if you're grilling for a really long time, say more than an hour, or two, if your tank is almost empty. Some places sell propane tank warmers, but they're really expensive, and there's lots of other things online that people suggest that I don't recommend. My solution is a pretty simple one. I keep a separate propane tank that's always full just in case I need it, and then in the wintertime, I'll end up filling these when they get to about a third full, because that's when you start to run into the problems. If you aren't turning the propane tank off when you're not using your grill, you really should, because it'd be a bummer if you bumped one of the knobs and then let all the gas out and came back to an empty tank, or even worse, if something sparked it and exploded. Neither of those are a good thing. But when it comes time to opening it back up again, you want to open it up completely and wait 15 to 30 seconds. When it's cold outside, it takes longer for the pressure to build up, and that makes sure that the bypass valve on your regulator doesn't get tripped, so you get full pressure that you're expecting on your grill. If you haven't heard of bypass mode before, it's when your regulator thinks that there's a leak in your gas grill system. The most common reason for that is because you open it up when one of these valves are open and the pressure doesn't build up. So in the wintertime, if you leave everything shut for that 15 or 30 seconds, you should be able to avoid that. When I'm grilling in the summer, I almost always take all three burners and turn them all the way up when I preheat or use the grill. Now, you don't need to do that. What you could do instead is only turn the grill burners on that are directly below the food that you're trying to cook. It's going to allow you to save some propane. It'll also avoid some of those tank freeze problems that I've talked about. You also want to give your grill a little bit more time to preheat than you would in the summer. So give yourself an extra 10 minutes or so and you should be fine. There's also the adage, if you're looking, you're not cooking. And that is extra true in the wintertime because what'll happen is it takes a lot longer for that heat to build back up. So leave the lid shut as much as possible. Or better yet, use a wireless thermometer so that way you can stay inside where it's nice and warm and you don't have to lift the lid just to see how things are cooking. In the wintertime, I'll usually stick to the recipes that I could grill blindfolded. Things that are direct grilled like steak, burgers, chicken, or fish are really easy to do and don't require a lot of tending. But if you want to level up your skills and learn how to fry on a gas grill, check out this video so that way you can leave the mess outside instead of in your house.